Hello, everyone. Welcome to our March month's Builder Skill Sprint session on AI-DLC. Uh, we'll wait for a few more minutes to uh, join. Sorry, we'll wait a few more minutes for people to hop in. Then we'll just start. So meanwhile, you can show your enthusiasm in the chat. So I see so many people joined us today on the Saturday morning to learn about AI-DLC and about Kiro. So maybe you can share your experience that whether have you heard the term ADLC before or have you used Kiro before? If so, how did you use it? What did you build out of it? Yeah, you can say something like that in the chat. Nice. Vivek is telling that he built an agentic browser with Kiro. That's nice. So we'll be also showing that what we did it as part of a hackathon for AI ideas. We had two submissions from user group Madurai, and we were shortlisted for the semifinalists. And we need your help to elevate it more. We need you to support blogs, read it if you like it, comment it, and help us share it with more people. Okay. I'll wait for another minute for starting. Okay, Learn Cloud with Srini already has an idea on ADLC. I think you're going to get some more clarity on ADLC today. That's definitely. So, any other comments on what you built using Kiro? I see so many people joined us today morning. Any other, even it can be like a simple HTML application, or could be like a simple productivity hack which you did using Kiro. No one. So this is the first time you're knowing about Kiro and uh, cool. Okay, without further ado, I'll just get started. So once again, I welcome you all for joining March month's Builder Skills Sprint on AADLC, and also deleted Happy Women's Day to all the women who joined us today morning, and also for the amazing women who joined us in presenting us with AADLC and Kiro. I hope you guys will have a great session today. So before joining into the session, I would like to show about two ideas which we shared for the AI DLC. I hope you guys can see my screen. The first one is AI Ideas Vivek Agent Studio. I hope most of you might have come across this platform. We have showcased this in multiple places in Madurai, in Bangalore, in all the in-person events which we participated last year. So, so you can just show a thumbs up if you already know or have experience with Vivek Agent Studio and you experience by building an agent on this particular platform before anywhere in person event in Bangalore or Madurai or anywhere else. Cool. So I'll just give a small brief of what this platform is, if you didn't heard about it. So Vivek Agent Studio is a platform like to simplify to create an agent. Like say for example, before to create an agent, you have to do a lot of manual setup tasks, right? To include each and everything. If you want to use a tool, you have to do some configuration. If you want to set a memory for your agent, you have to do some configuration. If you want to connect it to an MCP, you have to do some other configuration, right? So there were like so many things which you have to keep in mind when you're building an agent. So we saw there is like a gap there, like where people were struggling to build more agents. So instead of the time spent on creating agents, they spend more time like to configure it and in setting it up. So what we did is like we just create an visual work builder platform to create AI agents. So where you can just simply create AI agents just by clicking a few configurations. So whatever configurations that you want your agent to have, you can just do that by just selecting few options from the top. So it's as simple as that. So now creating an agent, like it won't take you so much time to think about the configuration and all other things. So you can just now come with your idea. You can just say that I want to build this agent and it will be nice if my agent has this particular tools, if it connect to this particular services outside. So all these things we can just do via a beautiful visual builder for agent. So I'll attach the blog link in the chat. So if you are really interested in knowing about this more, we'll please give a read about it. Also, please like and comment on this blog so that it will help us to proceed forward in this competition. Also, if you have any other questions or if you wanted to know more about this, please feel free to any of us in from user group Madurai. We'll be happy to walk you through it. And the other idea which we submitted was Bhutam browser. So it was submitted by Vivek. So Bhutam browser is an agentic browser. So where you have an agent embedded with your browser. So how many of you got connected with Bhutam? So if you are from Tamil Nadu and Bhutam means like it's like a ghost or something, right? So similarly, the theme of this browser is also similar to like a haunted theme. So this browser it combines like I hope you guys have seen many agentic browsers that has been coming up in nowadays, right? So Bhutam is also like a hybrid browser which combines an agent. So where you can just automate some of the manual tasks which we are be doing, right? So it can be like navigating to some page and doing some stuff for you, or you want to create a summary out of the page which you are currently in. So all these things can be done by just giving a prompt to the agent. We have it in the browser. So this is built using Strand's Bedrock Agent Core. That's the core engine for this model. So also this agent itself, right? It's not only ties to the web. So you can also include multiple tool calls and same whatever we did pass with the Vivek Agent Studio, right? Like everything you can just include it here. So it's a fun browser to work with. So I hope if you are really interested in experiencing the agentic browser, I'll please feel free to explore this browser. We have submitted a blog as well on this in Builder Center. So if you like it, please like and comment on this blog and also share with your friends of the two ideas which we have shared. So which will help us in proceeding further with this application, this contest. So that's it regarding the AI for AI ideas. Also, I want to share that we will be making an important announcement coming next week. So we have been working on this quite for a while in user group Madurai. You would have also heard in some of the posts which we were mentioning before that we are trying to do something out which is going to help people to really elevate the experience of attending community events and doing community work. So it helps them to get even more credibility of what they do for community. So stay tuned for that. Like watch the UG Madurai social media handles, and if you are not part of our WhatsApp community, So please join. So we'll be sharing the updates about this like further soon in the upcoming week. So yeah, that's all from my side. So we'll start with today's session on AADLC. I would like to welcome our host Madhumita to proceed forward.
So,
Just adding her.
yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you're good to go.
Sure. So, hey everyone, it's Saturday morning and we are all here to learn and grow something. So, yeah. So, before we dive into the technical part of this session, like I want to talk something about the vibe for this month. So, we are officially in March, and a few days back on March 8th, we celebrated the International Women's Day. So, I believe that the brilliance of women deserves more than just a day. So, when we look around in the tech community now, something incredible is happening, and we are seeing women growing, evolving, and updating themselves in a places like never before, right? So, from classroom to boardrooms, and from me, like a student, from me to the speakers, the incredible speakers for today, the from the local community to the global stage, women are growing, and we are no longer just finding a seat to sit, but we are building tables, designing rooms, and leading the way for everyone. So this session is a quick dedication to all the women out there who decided to start, refuse to quit, and every woman who's finding her voice in this industry. So a big shout out to all the women building greater things and breaking every limit. So, of course, we are past March 8th, but happy International Women's Day to every woman out there. So, and honestly, what's the better way to like start this, celebrate this than by featuring three incredible women in today's AWS community? So, today is all about skills, learning, and the builder sprint. So, let's get this sprint started with some good energy. And of course, keep interacting in the comment section. We'd love to see your energy out there. And stay till the end, stay tuned because we have something special for you guys, to someone who's very active and engaging in the comment section. So, of course, stay active. So, let's move on to the session. Our first session, we are going to learn about AIDLC, which is AI-Driven Development Lifecycle, and we are going to see the transition from the traditional way of software development to the modern AIDLC now. And for that, let me invite Bhuvaneswari. Um, can we have her on stage, please? Hi, Bhuvana, how are you doing? Hi.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm
How are you
good.
doing?
Thank you so much for having me here. It's such a pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. It's really, really pleasure meeting you too. So, um, so of course, to all the people out there, if you're being updated about what's happening in the community, there is no way you missed Bhuwana. So let me properly introduce her. And actually, I'm really like proud to say that this woman right here started from Tamil Nadu, and she's now reaching the global stage. She's a global speaker, an AWS hero, an ambassador, a technology leader with 25 years of experience, ma'am. That's really great, Buena. And she's also actively leading the community, mentoring people around her. And there is a lot and lot more to say about her. Such an inspiring figure that we have here today, and to get insights directly from her. So, welcome again. And let me have like quick questions with you. So, what I love most about you is that she doesn't just keep her knowledge to herself, and she shares it. So just last week, if you she was like blooming in the community. Last week she published her own book, the AIDLC handbook, and seeing it become such a great success has been so inspiring. And personally, it was really, really inspiring to read all the posts and comments and articles in LinkedIn.
If you have
So make
not seen
sure.
this, it's here.
Yes, yes, yes. And to all the people who's watching online, make sure to check it out in Amazon, and the link will be posted in the comments. So, ma'am, so Bhuvana, I have a like small question for you. So, for all those who have missed, including me, who have missed the launch event in the Bangalore, can you share how it felt to see your book out in the world, and what's the spark that made you do this?
So if you ask me what made me to write, there are two things that I want to say. What made me to write and why launch in Bangalore, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So basically, AI-DLC, it is AI-Driven Development Lifecycle, which has been invented and open sourced by Amazon in September 2025, uh, by Dr. Swami, none other than Dr. Swami. And Jeff Barr was also taking this forward as a future of developers. How do we flourish it? Uh, I also got an opportunity to be an early contributor towards this methodology, thanks to Raja SP and Anupam Mishra, who gave me that opportunity. They are leaders with Amazon who are driving this. So the first time I saw it was like so amazing, so passionate. I started my journey as a developer. For somebody who started as a developer, it's like 20 years down the line. This brings in a lot of insights, how we can use AI and at the same time have human it's there for validation, oversight, all of that to build the best in class software, be it creating something new or making changes to the existing software. So it was so good that I thought, okay, as you rightly said, my passion is always to share knowledge. And one dream which has been there with me for many, many years to write a book. And if I want to write a book, I want to write about something which is timeless, right?
Yeah.
And in this AI disruption, I feel AI DLC is going to stand timeless. It's an open source from Amazon. I want everybody across the world to adapt it, and it works with any tool and technology of your choice. That's when I picked up this. And if you ask why AWS, like some of you might be with Bangalore user group or Madurai user group or anywhere you're from, right? So I always think that never forget the grassroots where you're coming from. Of course, Tamil Nadu is where like I was born and brought up. And AWS UGBLR is the ground which was the launchpad for me to start my community journey back in 2017. And no other place can be so connected to my heart. And of course, AWS office, where we always get the opportunity to host a lot of meetups. When these two combination coming together, along with the AWS UG leaders like Jones, Avinash Dalvi, INR, Vivek, Lokesh was also there. With all these guys launching was like, that's the best place. No replacement. Of course, with the leaders from AWS to Raja SP and Tushar, right? So that's about it.
Lovely hearing it from you. Actually, I'm full of smiles because it was really lovely hearing it from you. So, as you said, you started as a builder, right? So, if you had to describe your builder's journey from the starting till now in just 3 words, what would it be? Um, can I repeat?
Can you repeat that question again, ma?
Yeah, 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 sure, sure. So you said you started as a builder, like from the beginning to till here, you've come so much, you've grown so much. So if you have to
So I
describe,
lost you.
okay, can I come again?
So I got your question a little later. There is a audio issue. If you want me to describe about my journey in 3 words, very
Yes,
simple:
yes.
unlearn, learn, and share. And repeat. Maybe you can add extra word.
Yeah, that was very short and sweet. Yeah, suits best. So I have like one more question for you, if that's okay, before getting into your session. So we are celebrating the women in tech this month, and I'm pretty sure you've met a lot of incredible people around. So, have you ever seen in a particular place or an event where women in the community or the community as a whole uh, were being very inclusive, helping each other, working on a particular problem that made you feel like, oh, yes, love doing this. This is why it keeps me this what keeps me doing every day. Is there any particular moment that you would love to share?
See, there are two things. One, if I am standing as a technologist, if I am standing as an international speaker today, of course, I would want to give that credit back to the UG leaders and heroes from AWS user group Bengaluru, who helped shape me what I am today. Right? That is the first thing. And the second one, we wanted to make the path smooth and establish a very strong background for a lot of women, not just across India, across the world. So that's when we created a user group called AWS User Group, AWS Women in Tech India. Of course, the similar thing was launched across the globe as well. So when we launched this AWS Women in Tech in India, of course, thanks to Devi, Ramya, Ridhima, Rashmi, who all brought this idea to life. So that became a launchpad for women across the world to they host their own meetups. That was a very inclusive thing, right? Now, this women in tech and the AWS user groups across the world, they collaborate very closely and continue to host events. So it's not like individually inspiring or transforming people. It is a holistic thing which is happening. So I'm like happy and proud of this.
Very lovely, ma'am. It's really lovely hearing it from you. So yeah, so as myself being someone at the starting of my career, it's really inspiring to talk to you and gain more insights from you, learn from you, and I'm pretty sure all of the people who is watching online is also excited to get insights directly from you today. So without any further delay, let's get into your session. So yes, Bhuwana, the stage is yours. Take over the session.
Thank you so much, Madhu. Thanks a lot to Vivek. You have really nurtured and got a wonderful community. Now you stand not just alone with Puval and Lokesh and Madhu, with all of us there to support you. So happy to hear from all of you. Let me get started. Hope you're able to see my screen. Okay. Is the screen blank?
He is
Let
born.
me
I'm
share
trying to.
again.
Yeah.
Huh. Can you share the screen? Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. And instead of sitting and relaxing on a Saturday, thank you for hosting this event on a Saturday for a larger audience who can watch live. And let's get in action, okay? So, this information is going to be definitely around AI driven development lifecycle, the book that Madhu and myself have been talking about. Okay, she gave a lot of introduction. Here is my contact details, my LinkedIn, and my website for you to stay in touch and get connected with me. These are some of the accomplishments distilled and available to you. I'm not going to brag about it. So, straight into the topic that we want to talk about today, right? So, I want to talk, instead of talk, I would say, I want to take you through the journey of how the AI DLC can transform you as a developer. That's what we are going to focus today. And so when you wanted to see this, so I was mentioning that AI DLC is a open source methodology invented and open sourced by Amazon in September 2025. One other proud moment is during the launch, we have been really call it out saying that this is the methodology was being invented and open sourced and launched everything from India and for the world, right? Same way, I am also taking pride in saying that the book is written by someone in India and it is for the world globally. So, this AI DLC is to reimagine the entire development system, having the AI capabilities at the center, which is here to tackle the most complex business problems, not just talking about hello world or prototypes, right? At every stage, human intervention is there, is tightly integrated with the every stage. So, as I said, this book is available on Amazon, and here is the QR code if you want to go grab. Okay, so what is the shift that we are living through when we wanted to understand this, right? So we are moving. You all might have used ChatGPT or any other tool. Go ahead and ask program, and then come back. Use it as you need. You might have used some agentic IDs as well, where you can actually create softwares. But we are transitioning from using AI as a tool to a teammate. That's when LLMs are not just writing code, not just testing, it is doing much more than that holistically, starting from your business ambition, creating this through your user stories, combining that into unit of work, taking them through the design, code, test, and then deploy the holistic phase it is going to take you through. That's the journey you're going to traverse with AI DLC. So why traditional AIDLC breaks with AI? So traditional AI, SDLC, like if you say agile methodology, it has sequential phases. Human takes the complete ownership, and there are definitely delays when there is a handoffs that is needed. While this completely provides a leap in productivity, of course, right? The invention of Agile itself is to accelerate a development that every 3 weeks there should be a shippable finished product that has to be delivered to production. That was the idea. But gone are the days that where we talk about one feature going to production in 3 weeks. We are talking about a whole new product itself is going to production or a whole bunch of features getting shipped every day. Right. That is the speed, that is the agility we are talking. So, though the traditional methodology brings in leap in the productivity, if we are not using the right methodology, then it is going to be the fragmented changes only for testing, only for design, only for coding, right? Not a holistic thing. We are trying to bring in that holistic. So, if you wonder what are the common anti patterns today, AI writes the code, and of course, you're the human who are going to fix it later, right? And it doesn't mean that prompt is the requirement. The requirement has to be understood. That is the actual requirements of your business ambition to convert that into a code has to be well understood, and not having a proper validation loop. That is, go ahead and randomly creates whatever is not the right thing. And who owns what? Of course, whatever AI creates, we can't own it, right? Because fast forward, just create a fragmented piece of it. How would you avoid all of that? We don't want to get into a stage that speed without structure leads to chaos. Like that, you'll find many quotes in the book. So now, when you're introducing AIDLC, I spoke about it. It's been invented by AWS and open sourced by AWS. Okay, in 2025. So here we ADLC ensures that AI participates in every phase and human is in control of what's happening. AIDLC has been implemented with this mental model. It's a very critical slide. If you see the traditional model, human interacts with tool and tool just gives. There is no conversation. You ask and AI gives, right? In the traditional world. Whereas in the AIDLC model, the continuous conversation is there, the flow is there, and it is intent driven. Intent driven is your business ambition is given based on the business ambition, which is an intent. The conversation is driven. But the old model, all that you need is, hey, create a program for or create a single page website. I want this single page website with a database connection. We're focusing on the output, right? Not the business ambition, what we're trying to achieve. And of course, you will review the code, everything is generated and given to you. But in AIDLC, you review at every stage. That is why this is a very, very critical slide. And this is the mental model which lies as the baseline for AIDLC. All that we do with AIDLC is you give your business ambition, it creates the plan, and then it seeks clarification to you. You provide clarification. The seeking clarification and providing answers, it could be a question answers. That's a conversation. And you go ahead and implement the changes. I mean, sorry, AI goes ahead and implement the changes and then comes to you with another set of questions for next stage. So this is an ongoing activity until your business ambition is converted into your deployable code and of course deployed to production. So that's how the process works. And so AIDLC is being built on 10 key principles. So we can definitely talk for the entire day if we want to talk about these principles. It's so very well thought. Let me talk about two, three things with the interest of time. Okay. First one is reimagine rather than retrofit. So if we take AI, put it in the existing traditional SDLC process, we are trying to retrofit AI into it, it breaks. Instead, this entire development methodology has been reimagined so that there is a continuous flow of conversation between AI and human and evolving to automate all the manual practices. And most importantly, the second one, when we talk about reverse the conversation direction, is everywhere human asks and AI responds. Here we are reversing the conversation direction. So human initiates a conversation, that is human gives only the business ambition. After that, all the communication and conversation are driven by AI. They initiate and direct, human approves, validate, and confirm that decision. So these things actually gives you the adaptability. That is a very, very important thing. The workflows or different stages that I've been talking about is not hardwired. It's not rigid. So you're so flexible to go ahead and create your own stages, add your own rules there. What do you mean by adding your own rules, right? So, for example, in an enterprise, if you wanted to follow certain coding convention, some security best practices has to be followed as per your enterprise standards, you'll be able to add that as a stage, include it. Similar to that, if you wanted to use a different methodology for development, see, in this AIDLC, predominantly we focus on domain-driven design. There are different methodologies when we are working on software development. One is domain-driven design. Second one is behavior-driven design, and then test-driven design. If you wanted to adapt test-driven methodology for development, you're free to do. You can actually customize the rules that are available. We'll talk more about that. So these are just some of the principles. As I said, we can talk about a day. to cover these things. But with the interest of time, I am keeping something for you to refresh later. Now, the crux of it is anatomy of AI DLC. So, how it is structured? When I say different phases, different stages, what does it mean? The first and foremost is the phases, what you see here, right? Inception, construction, operation. AI DLC is fundamentally driven by a specific mental model shift, which we saw. Now it is driven by the phases that you see here. The phases is inception, construction, and operation. And each of these phases, there are several stages, which I'm going to show you later. So now what happens in each phase is who are all involved in each phase. In inception phase, you're going to show the business ambition, which we call it as an intent. That business ambition is broken down into user stories, which is the output. And then the user stories are actually combined into unit of work. So what do you mean by that? If you take vehicle tracking system as an example, so you're working on to create a vehicle tracking system. In that payment, in the payment itself, there will be several user stories, customer related information, and vehicle related information. All of these things are created into multiple user stories. When we are combining them into a unit of work, we would say that, so one unit can be about customers. Any user stories with respect to the customer can be combined into one unit of work. Similarly, you will combine the user stories and these units will be passed on to the next phase, which is construction phase, where based on the domain logical design, the designing is done. After that, we'll take this design through non-functional requirement, functional requirements, and then design for the code and finally generating the code. We are not jumping directly into code generation. That is the beauty of it. And the operation is you're deploying it to production and monitoring it. This is the whole process at the high level. If you say who all are involved in each stages, what is the rituals that is performed? If you relate it to the agile world, we'll have the scrum meetings, we'll have the sprint, all of that, right? So here, if you see roles, uh, product owner, developer, AI, they all sit together to take it from a business ambition to user stories and to the unit of work. So that process is called mob elaboration. So mob elaboration is like a bunch of experts huddling together, brainstorming, and then working closely. That is mob elaboration. Usually, you would have seen startups and all working together as a mob team, as a one team. Maybe they sit in one computer, screen share, and say, hey, this is the business ambition. Let's go to create. That's how it works. And the second in construction phase, we call it as a mob programming and then mob testing. Combined together, we call it as a mob construction. Here, developers and AI work closely, collaborated. Of course, the product owners, developers, and AI and the testers are going to perform the testing as well, mob testing. Okay. So here, and the next one is operations. So this is the anatomy of AI DLC. Thanks to Raja SP for this wonderful diagram. I've taken this diagram from the AIDLC white paper. And this did so much in my heart that though the book is black and white except the cover, this page alone, I paid extra to the publisher to have it printed in color. So I loved it so much. You would also love. So now coming deeper into anatomy, we saw different phases. Now there are different stages in each of the phase. So in inception, there is a set of phase. Construction, there is a set of phase, stage and stuff. And operation, it is for future expansion. Let's take one at a time. When the user goes in, the user request goes into inception phase, and then it starts with planning and application design in inception phase. And the next one is construction phase where design, implement, and test, and then go for production deployment. I would like to take you through a greenfield case study. That is a new problem statement you're picking up and trying to solve it. And we'll take you through that journey so that you'll be able to understand better. Before that, how do I get started? What tool that I'm going to use? See, this methodology as well, it's open source methodology. It'll work with any agentic IDE that you're using for your development. For my book's implementation, I picked up Kiro, Amazon's agentic IDE. So all that you have to do is install Kiro locally. I think today we have team who are going to talk about more about Kiro as well. You download the AIDLC rule set from this path. These are workflows. Once you download, you ensure and verify that this folder structure exists. Okay. And as I said, this is so adaptable. If there is a fine change to the folder structure or the path, be flexible to adapt that and move forward. Now, coming back to the inception phase in Greenfield, first and foremost step is workspace detection. That is, you have created a folder where you wanted to work on this user story, and then you have put up the Kiro rules in the .kiro folder. And it looked like this, right? After this, when you go to the Kiro prompt, Kiro session, and say that using AIDLC, start working on this, it has to say whether it's a brownfield or greenfield. You're not telling, hey, this is a greenfield and proceed. Even if you tell, this is going to internally check to determine if there is anything exists in the workspace directory. So that is the first step. If it is a greenfield, it's going to direct away jump into requirement analysis. If there is a workspace which already exists in the working directory, which has some source code and other stuff, it's going to conclude that this is the brownfield project. Hence, it is going to do the reverse engineering of that project and then move on to requirement analysis. Okay. After requirement analysis, user story is again conditional because if it is a brownfield, you can um, let the user story skipped because if the requirements are clear and if you're going to add only one feature, then user story creation is not required. That is why it says conditional. I'm trying to explain you why certain stages in this phase is always and certain stages is conditional. Okay. And the next one is workflow planning, whether it's a brownfield or greenfield. Once the user story is passed, the next step is to plan the work and then move on to application design, followed by unit generation. Okay. So always keep a watch on always and conditional. See, these are rules. These are driven by rules. You are flexible to add any stages here, as I said earlier. Okay. And let's get started with the business ambition. My ambition here is using AIDLC. I want to create a reading list tracker web application that let users add books, track reading progress, and add notes. This is a basic application. I want to store the data in JSON file. I don't want to use database at this point in time because I'm just getting started. This is to keep it simple for the audience. And here is the output. Okay. When this is the outcome from that business ambition, how did we traverse this journey through AIDLC or using AIDLC? And here is the technology stack that this application have used. Um, the plain JavaScript, it has used React.js and browser local storage is used for persistent data. And there is a security aspect which is taken using bscript for password security, all of that. You saw this was the output. This was the technology stack used. How did we arrive that? So the first is when you give that business ambition, it went ahead and do the workspace detection. So when it is detecting the workspace, it would go ahead and create two files. One is audit.md and AIDLC state.md. So I mentioned there are several phases and several stages in the AIDLC process. How do you know whether you have completed second stage in first phase or which phase you stand? There is a power cut. There is a change in priorities that you want to shut down your system and come back and resume. It should start from where you have stopped, right? So basically, AIDLC state file keeps track of that, your phases and stage where you stand, and that audit.md tracks something that is very, very important. That every conversation that you have with AI, as we have mentioned, that AI initiate the conversation and it drives the conversation, right? And human is what is going to make the judgment. Human is going to validate it. So when human is going to make the judgment, human is going to validate it. Each and every conversation should be recorded somewhere, right? That is the audit.md file where this gets stored and recorded. So this is completely covered. Later, you cannot come back and say, hey, A done the damage. No, A wouldn't have done the damage. You would have asked it to do something. Maybe you change from browser storage to database, but you wouldn't have given certain inputs to put it in the database, right? All these are your decisions. It's not AI's decisions. So that's how these files are very, very important. And for next phase is requirement analysis. There are 12 clarifying questions to resolve the ambiguities. And it asks certain questions and you give an answer, it'll let you proceed. And the next thing is if you're giving contradictory answer, if you don't know the technology, you will give contradicting answer, right? So if you're giving contradicting answer, it will be able to figure out until, hey, you know what? You selected server-side application and it is going the browser storage. One second, let me close the door. If I'm at home, then you will have to hear the cooker whistles and all. You have to deal with this. Okay, I hope it stops. A Women's Day celebration and a session cannot go with a cooker without a cooker sound, right? Okay. So next one is now the it has asked all the questions. It is going to create the user stories for you, and it will show the user stories, and you're going to validate those user stories. For this simple example, there were 25 feature level user stories, which was organized into different feature areas. I put some examples here, and the next one is it moves ahead to workflow planning stage. See, it clearly says what stage was completed, what stage is in progress, what got skipped, right? Huh. And next one is application design stage. This is where the team chose the simple component centric architecture with minimal abstraction layers. So you saw I have told the browser storage should be local. I mean, the data storage should be local to the browser in terms of JSON file. Those kind of inputs were given here. Okay. And it will ask you how you want to derive, I mean, drive the entire flow. It should be feature based or it should be based on the persona. So all the decisions are owned. So one thing, anybody who says AI is going to replace human, no. If you are a super solid SME in your area, AI cannot replace you. Keep that in mind. And these stories are combined into unit of work. In this simple example, if you see, there are 4 units of work. One is the UI foundation, core features, enhanced features, and analytics and utilities. I was super ambitious in case of enhanced feature. See, the example is simple. I want to have a tracker in my system where I want to add any book. See, for example, if you're saying today you're reading AI-DLC book and you wanted to track, I've read 10 pages, and next day you want to say, oh, it was so interesting, I finished 100 pages today. So it has to track. At the end of the day, you wanted to rate that book, 5-star rating. I think I'll get 5-star from you for ADLC. But if some other book is not so interesting, you don't want to rate it 5-star, you put it. This is for your internal tracking. And later you can share it with people on the best 5 books that you read in the year. You want to look back and see what I read in 2026. You go ahead and say, this is going to helpful, right? This is simple evaluation. All that you need is you give a book title, you should be able to add it, right? I went too over ambitious and said I should be able to add with the book's ISBN. If there is a bunch of books list that I wanted to import, for a simple application, it is not required. But I wanted to see, is ADLC really going all the way and doing all these things? That was uh, super satisfying for me. Okay. And the other one is statistics. If you ask what is the core thing, this foundation and user stories. If I finish unit 1 and unit 2, the core functionality will work. And I can go ahead and do this enhanced feature if I need. You remember, with core features, if I apply analytics, then I will be able to get the statistics. This may not be needed, right? This can be skipped also. So that's how it is tailored. For simplicity, we are going to proceed this sequentially, develop sequentially. For that, jumping into the construction phase of this project. So here, if you see, the design, implementation, and testing happens. And in this, the per unit loop goes in. So when you say the per unit loop goes in, the functional design is the first one. And then it moves on to non-functional requirement assessment. And then after assessment and asking a set of questions to you, it is going to proceed to the non-functional requirement design. And then infrastructure design as needed. For this application, I am keeping it simple. I'm not deploying it on any of the cloud providers. I'm running it from locally. As an enhancement to this, you can add this as a next unit. And then we are moving to code generation. This is the difference between, I was telling, we as a developer are moving from toolset mind to collaborating with AI as a team, because we are not directly jumping into code generation. We are taking through the entire process and journey, which is traversable back, and it is built and tested. Okay. And now it creates the functional designs by asking a set of clarifying questions. That's when, so whether you want to use a model dialogue for confirmation, or you wanted to have a real-time display, all these questions from the UI perspective is asked from the functional planning. After this functional planning questions, it's asked not NFR related questions and creates the non-functional design. So you will be able to find these questions here and the answers are stored. I'll show you the entire structure, how it looks like after it gets created. Now from your Kiro session prompt, you will be able to see this after completing the user stories. So I have took a screenshot of it after unit 2 has been completed. See, it is saying that now you will start with unit 3 enhanced features. Now, here you can take a critical call saying that unit 3 was a nice to have feature. If these enhancements are not needed for you, your app is perfectly working fine. You can go ahead and test it quickly, right? See, what level of insights this AI DLC and Kiro combination is bringing to you. If you're 1x developer, it'll obviously transform you into a 10x developer for sure. Okay. And the next one is in construction phases, build and test. So here you're going to build the application, deploy it, and test it. It is going to be really seamless. I can see if I have the GitHub link for this project and share it with you. But this is really, really, it's going to be seamless. I want you to experience Kiro on AI DLC and see how it works. So this is how the structure looks. When you give the first statement using AI DLC, go ahead and develop this. It will create this folder, AI DLC docs, with AI DLC state and audit.md file. And when you are entering into inception phase, it is going to create this inception folder, first starting with this requirement directory, and then user stories, plan, application design one by one. And when it is stepping into construction phase, it is going to create this. How these folders are created, how these files are created, if you're wondering, these are driven by the rules defined in AIDLC. That rules are not restricted from you. It is what open sourced and available in the GitHub link, which I showed earlier. Go ahead and download and have a closer look at it. You will be able to understand. You can add additional rules as you need. That is very, very important. That's why we wanted to reiterate and call it this entire AIDRC workflow as completely adaptive. It is not set in stone. Okay. And one important thing is your experience, your instincts, and your customer understanding keep everything grounded here. That is why human remain the real drivers of any project using AIDLC. It's not like something decided by AI and thrown at you. You own the code which is generated with AI here. Your customer will be happy. Only you own the code that is generated, not AI generated, not AI owned, right? And see, this is again the question that I keep getting. Can I customize AID rules? The answer is yes. If you go and expand the .kiro file, the folder, the core workflow.md file is the one which is the main orchestration file, which drives the entire flow which you saw so far, right? Different phases and different stages. And AIDLC rules, so you have these rules. For example, if you wonder what happens in workspace detection, go ahead and check this workspace detection.md file and see what is the sequence of action that is carried out to do this workspace detection. And even in the workspace detection, if you wanted to bring anything specific to your enterprise, or as you said, I mean, as I said, with respect to your intuition, go ahead and change it. Okay. So it's completely flexible and adaptable. Okay. So if you want to dive deeper, if you wanted to explore brownfield implementation, and there is a question which comes often: how does the job roles looks like when you are embracing AI, embracing AI DLC? Any questions that you have further, definitely look into AI DLC handbook. That's going to help you answer all of this question. This was just a sneak peek into it, how you can build something in Greenfield using AI DLC. This is to empower you to see how you can take this forward. If you like AI DLC methodology, you can provide your feedback at aidlcbook.com. If you like it, go ahead and order it in Amazon and share your review. That is very, very important for me. Based on your input, we can tailor the content, and then I can pass this on to the open source AIDLC with AWS. I can focus on tailoring workshops according to this in future. Thank you so much for your time. That's it I had. Open for questions, if any, or if we allow.
Guys, if you have any questions, do comment in the comment section.
It will create an end product completely. Is that a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you should be able to see. I want to rephrase the question first before answering. It will not create. You as a human, along with the AI, using the AIDLC methodology, we can create a product from the business ambition using this methodology. Any other question coming on, ma?
Um, till now there is nothing. Let's wait for a minute or so, or else it's coming.
I see a message from Srini that book is really good. I am started reading through. Thank you so much, Srini. Keep sharing your feedback. I would want to see what amazing thing you're going to build with AIDLC that is going to inspire a lot of people to adapt AIDLC methodology itself. Okay, thank you so much. So, what are the some of the guardrails to look for when we are using AIDLC methodology? This is a very, very important question when we are working on AIDLC. So, basically, from the starting to the ending, okay, from the beginning to the ending, when we are using this methodology, every stage there are set of guidelines and guardrails ingrained into it. Okay. See, for example, when you're starting with design, so you'll have to follow the design guidelines, and it will not deviate from the best practices that is available in the industry. So by default, AIDLC follows certain guardrails. And in addition to that, you can also say, hey, while building this, ensure OWASP security policies is followed. And whether you're asking that the password has encrypted or not, when it is building the solution, for example, same the reading list tracker I take as an example, I'm just trying how I can distill it. Let me take one simple example. For the reading list tracker, when you're trying to create the requirements, the first question it asks is, this is the application. You have mentioned that it'll have an authentication. So though you wanted to store the data locally, what methodology or technology that I should use to encrypt? So you saw the B script, that utility was used to encrypt the document here. So it'll give you a set of options. It's me who has picked up that as a basic. So this is at every stage, it is going to bring in the right guardrails, masking the PIA information that is needed, and bring in the security guidelines, all of that in place. Hope it answers, Vivek. I see a question. I'm working as a professor in university. I want to automate accreditation process for NBA. Sir, it's any business ambition can be taken up, worked upon, taken into the end product. Okay. If at all you could automate this NBA accreditation with your college students, this will be the best product every university would want to have. And it will be a success for AIDLC as well. I want you to try. Okay. Good luck to that. See, it's a process that you give in, right? The business ambition that you give in. Anything, the approval, uploading of documents, validation, everything can be ingrained. The technology is available and how we are going to build it. This is the methodology which is going to drive. Okay. Huh. How ADLC supports collaboration in cross-functional teams? Okay, this is a great question. Another great question. Here, the silos are going away. The human silos where people are going to work individually and independently, that's going to go away. Right from the um, inception phase where you're going to do the mob elaboration, multiple teams are going to sit together. And when you're developing also, just the developer is not going to sit and develop. You will have somebody from the testing team or design team, architecting. You can sit together and brainstorm. For example, when you're taking and answering the key questions like the functional design questions, testing requirement related questions, you need to have that collaborations, no? It is actually increase the collaboration. Even in the pre AIDLC era, people can take the decision and just pass it on to somebody. You will have miscommunication and distrust from the team that, hey, you took the decision without telling me. Here, there is no room for all that because during mob elaboration or mob construction, you're going to sit together, brainstorm, and update the details, right? Answering those questions. Everything is recorded. So today, if I am collaborating with Vivek and Madhumita to build something, we three discussed and entered the information. Tomorrow, Vivek cannot come and say, hey, Bhuna, did we really take that call of choosing this particular technology that is Node.js for implementing the solution? No, because it's all recorded. So it increases the collaboration and the trust with the team. Okay. How can a beginner start learning and implementing AIDLC in real projects? AIDLC is available and easily adaptable for both developers and early developers alike. If you are new to this, you don't have to worry about spending too much money to learn and adapt this technology. All that you need is download Kiro, go ahead and download the rules from AWS repository that I've shared with you, and then start following the practices that has been laid out in the ADLC handbook. You will be able to get started. Okay, with sample business ambition, you'll be able to drive it. And one important thing that I wanted to ask, this question keeps coming whenever I talk about ADLC. See, remember how you build the profile, the number of open source contribution you make to the open source projects is going to make your profile stand out from the crowd, right? So people start contributing to the open source, and eventually it become their passion and their kind of a reflex action. They continue to do that. But college students, how can they do this? Or any developers, how can they do this? It is very, very easy and simple with AI DLC. Of course, you need to have hold on technology. To make it simple, as part of this AIDLC handbook, I've picked up one use case from Excalibur, where the intention is to convert the any image that you're pasting into an Excalibur diagram. That was a two-step process. It has to use the tools, technologies, language that has been already used by Excalibur, because Excalibur has like a lot of, I think, 2.1 K followers for that open source tool. I shouldn't be putting new tool, new methodology, new process. With the AIDLC, it is able to actually skim through their best practice, their process, and then bring in my change requirement to do it. It was absolutely flawless. That was the best thing that I enjoyed. So you could be a developer, or early developer, you should be able to do it. Any other questions? Lot of questions. So nice. Thank you, Vivek, Pubal, and Madhu, and Logesh for arranging this. I enjoy talking. See, when I say you're going to create tons of open source projects, add it to your profile, I see big, broad smile from folks. That is what I want. That is what I want.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for answering all the questions. And I guess there are no more
Okay.
questions. So
Anything else?
amazing session. Let me see
Thank you
anything
so
else.
much. This made my day. Saturday well spent.
Actually, indeed, it also made, I guess, everyone in the online also, I guess, it also made their day because definitely for me, it's a great day talking and interacting with you. And really amazing session, ma'am. I have learned a lot from you while listening, and I'm also excited to apply this in my projects and in the hands on submission later. So, I think for people who are looking for the PPT of this session, we'll definitely share it and we'll let you know how you can access it later. So, anything else, guys, in the comments? Okay. All right then. So before ending this session, so is there anything you want to tell the builders out there? And of course, recently the community builders program results were also announced, and the community is growing. A lot of people are joining. Is there a few words to them before we conclude this session? Anything you want to say, Vanam?
Certainly. Maybe, I mean, too much advertisement to the book. You can remove that. My presentation.
No, ma'am, definitely not. We love hearing from you.
While I am wishing the community builders, we should remove. Okay. So, first of all, hearty congratulations to all the new community builders. Finally, two of our stars, Poopalan and Lokesh, also became the community builder this time. Madhu, are you the one? Are you also the one?
No, ma'am. I
Are you
tried, but
also a community builder
next.
now?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'll definitely try the next year. So I'll
Not
contribute a
yet.
lot. Yes, not yet.
Okay, next time I will also wish you. Okay, and
Thank you.
see, this program is super, super helpful in shaping everybody's career. You will have first-hand access to the AWS leaders, AWS heroes, AWS community builders across the world. You have a lot of learning materials and support from AWS. All that is going to be there only for enhancing your passion of learning and sharing, right? You're not doing anything extra for it. You're going to create a content, build your profile, share knowledge, make yourself visible in the entire world. And with that, the perks is you're getting the community builder recognition, and also keep doing a lot of other things that you're doing, right? And like this, I have seen a lot of community builders transforming into AWS heroes. You have one rockstar hero from your AWS UG, Vivek, who has been receiving every award, every accolades across the globe, and building a lot of great products. So one thing I will definitely say is, I am coming from the same state. Maybe earlier in my career, either I was in college or when I graduated, if I had access to some community like this, some people hosting some session like this, I would have been somewhere, right? I started all these community interaction after 17 years into the career. And the growth for the last 7, 8 years, I would say exponential and phenomenal compared to the first 17 years. That is thanks to the community. That's the power of networking. So step out of your comfort zone, go interact and meet with people, transform yourself. Wishing you a great success.
Thank you, Mona. It was really, really great. Actually, I'm full of smiles because you're a lovely person, and hearing it directly from you is just makes my day so good. So, I guess let's end the session here. So, thank you, really, for joining us today, and it was indeed amazing hearing from you directly. Great learning. Looking forward to see you soon, ma'am. Great learning. Thank you. So, yeah. It was really good interacting, and I hope everyone online who's watching it from their home got a lot of insights and enjoyed her session. So, of course, try building new projects, and we also have the hands on challenge later. Do build your project in that, showcasing your AI DLC skills and all. So, so let's move on to the next session. So let's keep the momentum going. Moving on to the next session, we are going to learn more about how to implement the things that we have learned from Bhuvana. So we are going to learn more about an AI powered IDE, that is Kiro, and seeing a live demo, working demo of how we are going to implement it, use it. And for that, I want to bring another two amazing women here to the stage. Here we have the cloud captains, Aspan and Shreya. Can we have them on stage, please? Hey Shreya, hey Aspan. I think your mic is muted. Can you unmute it?
Hey Madhumita.
Hey,
Hi Aspan. Hi Shreya, how are you doing?
hello. We are doing great.
You're doing
How
great.
about you? The session
Okay,
till now was really good.
Yes,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was really insightful.
All right
Yes.
then. So let's get started with your session. So before that, why don't you guys introduce yourself individually and tell us what's your journey and what you've been contributing to the community till now. So go on.
Yes, I'm Shreya Sharikar and I'm the Cloud Club captain from like past 9 to 10 months at Amity University, Bengaluru. We have successfully completed like 4 to 5 events on campus. One was online also with Vivek. Those are the events we have completed, and this is another add-on to it. Looking forward for
Really
the
good.
session.
Really great. Really great. Welcome.
So
So,
I'm Asman, based in Bangalore, and I'm the AWS Cloud Club captain at GSEM, Bengaluru. And we have hosted the first inaugural session at our college, and it went great. And again, joining events is really fun, and this is one of them, and I want to contribute to this. So I'm really excited.
okay, that's nice. And of course, welcome you guys. So, before getting into your session, let's have a quick Q&A session, Salvi, so we can get to know more about you guys. So is that okay? Can we start?
Yes.
I have three questions for
Yes.
you actually. So yeah.
Yeah.
So as cloud captains leading a community, you guys often see people hesitating to start, right? So what was your moment that you realized that wait, I actually belong here, I can actually lead this, or any particular community moment that you felt like yes, I want to keep doing this, I want to keep supporting people? Is there any particular moment or an experience that you have? You can share it.
So I'd like to share my experience. So, firstly, attending events. I started by attending some events, and then I got an idea of how we can actually build a community by ourselves. So it should be coming from yourself that okay, I want a community and I want people to learn and grow more by actually sharing your insights. So as a community, everyone gets to learn from each other, and that is one of the best parts of community. So yes, building a community from scratch using AWS Cloud Club Captain role has been really helpful, and it comes like when people approach you and they talk about how they're actually learning and they're actually able to use their learnings from the community. So that's actually great. Knowing from people that yes, I'm able to contribute here and there. So
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
lovely,
Yeah,
lovely.
as she said, community is not about being a leader by knowing everything. Everyone, nobody is perfect, so it's about creating an environment where you can share knowledge and also gain knowledge from each other. So that is one thing I love about communities, that I do not have to know everything, but we can sit together and learn everything by sharing knowledge with each other. That is one thing I really like in communities. And when it came to others getting started, they are a bit scared in the starting because they don't have the right resources, and they don't know where to start exactly. And people have reached me out regarding this, like 2 3 people, that I really want to learn more about AWS, but I don't know where to start. And helping such people is like makes me like really happy that I'm able to share my knowledge with people and help them grow. So I just share resources, and that is what makes me feel love. Makes me love what I'm doing. Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I definitely agree with your point because I was once like that. I was very hesitant, and peer-to-peer learning in the community really did help me. So valid point, of course. So moving on to the next question I have for you. So since we are all the women in tech, women in the cloud, what do you want to say to the other women, and what's the one superpower that you think being a woman brings to the building tech communities? Like, what do you think?
So one superpower women have, I guess, it would be like emotionally connecting with the community members. It's not you'll have to plan events like for people who are attending events for the first time, as well as experts who are joining in the session. So in that cases, maybe I feel like women are more empathy driven, and they prioritize everyone in the community. It's not like uh, they understand, they welcome everyone to the community. That's one thing I like about women in communities. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes, I think that's definitely right. You bring in more empathy and you actually are able to understand how other people are actually getting into the community, and I think that's an amazing thing which women bring into the tech.
Amazing, guys. Lovely to hear. So, the last one. So, who is one person or one woman in the cloud or tech space? It can be a local community or the global community. So, whose work, their leadership has genuinely inspired your own building journey, or someone you'd like to have a convo with, or someone you'd like to have a coffee with? Is there someone or anyone like that?
Well, there will definitely, I will definitely say Bhuvaneswari ma'am for this because she has been such an inspiration, and I was a part of her book launch event as well, and getting her insights on how she got into the tech, and from a small, like from Tamil Nadu to global, to being a global leader. It's really amazing hearing from her, and meeting her and talking more about her will be great, and discussing things with her.
Anything for you, Shreya, to say?
Yeah, even I wanted to tell the same name. It was actually Bhuvaneswari ma'am. I met her in an event like long back, go to serverless, and that is the first time I met her. And I would scroll LinkedIn a lot, and every time I open LinkedIn, I used to see Bhuvaneswari ma'am. In every event, she's there. She's contributing so much to the community. It gives me kind of motivation that I know what I'm doing is very little, and I have a long way to go when I see like all the leaders there. And one more person would be Sonal Sharda. She is also a golden jacket holder. She also motivates me a lot. Om Shri Bhutani is there. Yeah, there are like many people, but for now, three names would be enough. These are the three people who motivate me a lot.
Yeah. Lovely to hear. Amazing. And I think I got lucky connecting and engaging with Bhuvaneshwari ma'am in this session. So yeah,
Yes.
good connecting with her, of course. She was really a down to earth person, of course. So yeah, that was really amazing. So let's move on to your session. So yeah, let me hand over the stage to you guys. Go on with it. The stage is yours.
Yeah, I'll be sharing my screen now. Is my screen visible? Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Aspan, the AWS Cloud Club captain at GSEM, and I'm excited to share how tools like Kiro are changing the way we approach development and accelerate development. So, the first time I came across Kiro, which is an agentic IDE designed to help developers build faster using AI driven agents, I honestly started from zero. I had no idea how how agentic development works, and how things like sharing rules, agent hooks, or MCP servers actually fit together. But once I started using Kiro, it felt very different. So it did not feel like an assistant waiting for commands from me. It felt more like a teammate sitting next to me. So it understood context, it asked clarifying questions and questions which actually made sense to what I'm building, and adapted based on how I guided it. So what started as a way to actually reduce repetitive work quickly turned into something more. So Kiro felt less like a tool, more like a collaborator, making the whole process smoother and a lot more fun. Because development should definitely be fun, right? So once I stopped treating Kiro like a tool and started treating it like a development partner, everything just started clicking very well. So when most developers build with AI today, it usually starts with vibe coding, right? So you have an idea, you prompt the AI and it generates code, and you just keep prompting unless you get what you really want. So it is fast, but it can get pretty unstructured. So that is exactly where Kiro comes in. So Kiro turns this chaotic process into something more structured and more beautiful. So what we can think of is the AI DLC, or the AI Driven Development Lifecycle. So instead of jumping straight into code, Kiro guides us to three things, which is requirements, then design, then we have the task list. The idea becomes clear, and the requirements as well. Then you have the architecture, and finally a set of actionable requirements and what you want to actually build. And then you can move on to the tasks. So on top of that, Kiro has some really powerful and some really cool features which I did not hear about before, but Kiro got them to me. So firstly, we have the spec driven workflow. So your idea is structured to requirements, design, and tasks, so which makes development much more organized and structured. Then we have agent hooks, which can automate tasks like generating documentation or cleaning up code. And then we have steering, which lets you define rules for how AI should work. So the code which is generated, it follows your project standards and what you want to build. And with MCP servers, Kiro can actually connect to external tools like APIs, databases, or GitHubs, whatever you want for your program. So it is also powered by Claude Sonnet models, different Claude Sonnet models. So it can help you understand the context and you can choose it based on what you want. And lastly, we have Autopilot, which allows you to run multiple tasks together with minimal prompting, so you don't have to keep prompting Kiro again and again. So instead of just generating code, Kiro helps AI actively participate in the entire development lifecycle, and this is great. Now, here are a few simple practices for getting the best results from Kiro. So, firstly, clear guidance matters a lot. So, the more specific your instructions are, the better the output. Second, we can use small focused prompts instead of asking everything at once. Then, thirdly, we have treating Kiro like a teammate and asking it for reasoning, alternatives, or any different approaches which we can take. And always we can focus on validation and getting human in the loop and reviewing the output for correctness, security, and whether it actually all fits together or not. So you can always get insights from Kiro as well. And finally, context is everything. So when Kiro understands what your needs are and what your constraints are and how your system's gonna work, it can generate much better results. So that was all from me today, and thank you for listening. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn.
Thank you, Asman. That was really amazing sharing your experience with all of us. It was really good hearing. Amazing, amazing session. So let's move on to Shreya's session, Salvi. Um, Shreya, the stage is yours. You can take over from now.
Thank you. Hello guys, I'm Shreya. As I already gave my introduction, I'll be talking about how you can use Kiro for your prototype to get your production grade application based on whatever idea you have in mind. Kiro is an agentic AI powered IDE by AWS. Which uses AI agents to make your work simpler. You just give the prompt and it will give your whole application. It writes the code, it tests the code, it gives you the documentation, from uh, uh, whatever Bhuvanam ma'am told, like the Greenfield application. You can do anything. You just start from scratch. The whole application is built by Kiro. You just have to, guide what you want in your website and all that. It helps developers move from idea or prototype to production more efficiently. As a developer, you take like months together to work on a project, but with Kiro you take like within like 1 or 2 days. That is how Kiro will help your life as a developer. So the capabilities of Kiro are like I would talk majorly about these five topics. One is the spec-driven development. There's vibe coding, MCP servers, agent hooks, and steering. We'll dive deep into all these topics in my live demo. So if you're new to Kiro, there are two modes. One is the spec-driven, and one is the vibe code-driven. Spec-driven coding is when you are starting an application from scratch. You don't have any code base, you just have an idea in your mind and you want to build it. So that is where you use spec driven coding. It defines applications, it defines the requirements documentation, how your project design is going to be, and it breaks down your whole application into smaller tasks which you can complete like part by part, and at the end your whole application is ready to use. And on the other hand, if you had to use vibe coding, it's more like when you have a code base already ready and you just want to add like a few features here and there, and you don't want to go through the whole process of requirements design and tasks. So spec driven takes a bit longer time, but you get a very clean code and everything is structured. But in vibe coding is like when you want to do like simple and easy tasks like adding any features. So that is where you'll be using vibe coding. So if you want to see how Kiro looks, this is how Kiro looks. This here you see the chatbot. There is spec driven and pipe coding, as I told. On the left side you have all the tools which you can be using. This is the specs which you will be having like few files here. Agent hooks you will be using when you have repetitive tasks. We'll dive deep into all these. First, let's start with the spec driven uh, development. So I have an idea, like since this is for Women's Day, why not create a website where you can put people who you feel are good leaders as a woman, or get motivation from there. So I have made a prompt ready. So I'll be specifying what I need in the application, and Kiro will do it for me. So build. I want my application to be named as Inspire Her Women in Tech Inspiration Hub. The endpoints are going to be localhost 5000, which is like where I want to view my application locally before deploying it. And then Inspire for all the images to be handled. I've used an S3 bucket. Every time you want to add the image on the website, when you want to add a new person to it, the image is stored in the S3 bucket, and even when you want to view it, is fetched from the S3 bucket. Those two are my endpoints. Spec driven is what technologies I'll be using. For the so I've used Python Flask app running on port 5000. It's a simple and responsive UI using Tailwind CSS. And for the database, I've used SQLite. And for storing and uploading images, I'll be using S3 bucket. The features are, I want a homepage introducing what is the website about, and another gallery section where all the women leaders are portrayed with their name, field, like in which field they have achieved, what achievements they have made, and a photo of them. Inspiration wall displaying motivational quotes, like there'll be women giving motivational quotes which are very helpful to you. Those will be on a different page. All the posts will be on a different page, and there'll be another page like women profile, name, field, achievements, URL, so you can check that as well. And the code text, fast track I've used because I want to skip all the complex authentication for now, since it's just an MVP. Okay, manual form submission only, basic validation. These are whatever I have in mind. I've just put it here, and we can let Kiro do the other things. So let's see what Kiro does. So it's asking me whether I want to build a feature or fix a bug. Since I don't have a code, I will have to build a feature or the whole project from scratch. Okay, so it's asking me, do you want to skip to the technical design part, or you want the requirements? I would prefer getting the requirements first, because I have an overview of the project. Anytime I want to add a new feature or remove something from the website, I feel requirements is a must for me. You can also skip to the technical design file as well if you want. So Kiro is doing his part. So as I told, it will be creating three different files. One is the requirements, one is the design, and task list. Requirements is it uses a very simple ERS method called easy approach to requirements. It doesn't give you like technical terms and all. It gives you content in the most simplest readable form. As soon as someone sees the file, they will have a very good idea about what the application is or what you are building. So here the requirements.md is ready for us. It is giving an introduction that it is a women in tech inspiration hub, a Python Flask web application that celebrates and showcases inspiring women in technology. This is the introduction. This is the glossary, like what all pages will be there, what and all I can do in the website. These are the requirements. Like I want application bootstrap user story as a visitor. I want to inspire her to be available on localhost 5000 so that I can access platform in my browser locally. These are all the requirements Kiro will make, and it's asking me if this looks good, we can move on to the technical design. I feel that present requirements document is good enough. If you want to make any changes, you can definitely do it here and then move on to the technical uh, design phase, or you can anytime come back here also and make the changes. So I'm good with the requirements document. I will be moving on to the design phase. So let's see. So it's reading the requirements first, so it gets an overview and then it makes the design, like what and all technologies it has to use and everything. So let's wait. Yeah, the design document is ready. It's giving an overview. It has also given my architecture diagram, like how things work on my website. So here's the browser where users can use as an HTTP request to the Flask application using Python. It will be running on port 5000. There are routes to the template. There are services like SQL Alchemy. There is S3 bucket uploader. Then these are the design decisions server side. You can read all these. It gives you all the request made from the website or to the website. And then there's validator. It has everything technical related to your project. So you will not have to do anything manually. You can go through this and check if whatever you wanted is there in the design document, or if you want to change any text stack also, you can change it here as well. Okay, so my design document was has everything I wanted, so I'll be moving to the tasks. So based on the requirements and the designs, Kiro will give me the list of tasks which will be broken down into smaller chunks, which I can run either manually or run all the tasks together to get my final application. Yeah, so it's giving me the task. First thing is to start a project setup and dependencies, where I'll have to install all the dependencies, set up a project using it might be Flask for the app, and then Python, where I'll have to. It also gives me an overview here what are all tasks are to be performed. First is the project setup. Second is data models plus default code seeding. Then base template with Tailwind nav. Then homepage, women leader gallery, inspiration wall, checkpoints. These are all the tasks Kiro would have to do, to give the applications. Once you check through everything and you feel this is good to go, you can either run all tasks here, and it'll ask you whether you want to run only the required task or you want to run all the tasks including the optional ones. So optional ones are excluded, because first, if you want a MVP, to see your basic application, you can just run the required task. Or if you want the whole application ready including all the small features and everything, you can run even the optional tasks. And here there's also an option for autopilot. Autopilot is when you know Kiro very well, and you know how Kiro works, how it runs all the commands by itself. And when you are comfortable with Kiro, you can turn autopilot on. If not, if you're new to Kiro and you want to experiment with Kiro, you can turn it off. It's like more like supervised version of using Kiro. Kiro will only give you suggestions, and you will be the one who will be deciding and telling Kiro whether it is good to go or you want any changes. And there are also models, frontier models which you can use. There is auto when you don't know which model to use for which feature. There is Claude Sonnet 4.5, Claude Sonnet 4, Claude Haiku 4.5, DeepSeek, Minimax, Queen 3. All these models can be utilized, and there are different structures, how credits will be consumed for each of the modules you use. I had set it for auto, but based on my project, I feel that Claude Sonnet 4.5 will be a better model, because it gives it makes integration easier, and it has a very good reasoning skills. So I will choose Claude Sonnet 4.2, and I will just run the required task for now. Yeah, it's telling that I'll execute all the tasks for your website. Let me start by queuing all incomplete tasks and then execute them sequentially. So what it does is it just complete all the tasks one by one year, except for the optional ones. It might take a long time, so I will just use the project I had made earlier. It has nothing. It has nothing more, but it's just it's a folder with all the tasks run earlier itself. So here you can see this is the same web application, and I had finished running all the tasks earlier, because if I have to run all the tasks manually now, it might take around like 20 to 25 minutes. So I do not want to waste time on that. I had completed it earlier. Just 1 minute. Okay, so these were my tasks which I had got earlier, and I have completely finished all the tasks. If you wanna, have a basic view of the website, how it would look after running all the tasks, you can check it. Just a minute. Okay, so as I told, it should be running locally on my local host 5000. So yeah, after running all the tasks, this is the version Kiro has given me. The whole web application. Here is the home page where there's a brief introduction of what the website is about. There's a gallery here which I've just added my own image. There's inspirational quotes given by any of the women leaders. There's also submit option, as I told Hero to do. It has done it very well. I will just add a profile to it and show you. Madhumita field, she's done pretty good in community building, so I would like to mention that. And then achievement, being the host, I'll just put randomly for now. and then I can just choose any picture. I just have one random picture from the web. I'll be submitting the profile, and you should be able to see it on the gallery page. So yeah, there's Madhumita, which I just added here. Being the host of the session, she has contributed in the community building, and here I can also delete my profile or submit a new profile here. uh, that's what Kiro has given me with me doing nothing. I just gave the prompt on what I need, and Kiro has given me like the whole project for me. So that is how spec driven works. So if you want to know how vibe coding works, let's have a look into it. So I'll take a new session. I will choose vibe coding. As you know, vibe coding will not go through all the three phases like requirements, design, and task. It will just add whatever feature you want. Like I want an edit option next to the profile page. There's for now there's just delete, right? I want an option to edit, and I'm giving a prompt that add an edit button to each profile card in the women's gallery session. And then when the edit button is clicked, open a profile page, and all the details I've given on what I want, and hopefully Kiro will be doing it. One minute, I'll use this. I've chosen spec again. So it's reading my requirements document to understand what the application right now has, and then maybe it will give me my feature. It has also edited the requirements document so that further I don't forget that I had added edit features. The requirements document is up to date for now. So it's also adding it to the design.md file, so we don't lose track afterwards, and then think that, oh, we forgot to add this. So until Kiro does its work, if you can see, there's this part in Kiro on the left side. This has spec driven, which shows what specs you have chosen, like the requirements, design, task. You can also create specs for each feature of your application. Like there'll be many features in some applications. You can use a spec for each of your features, and you'll have a more better view of your project. Then there's agent hooks, which is for repetitive tasks, like when you're working in a team, you do not want to risk the security scan of your project. Like some people in the team, like any of my teammates, might unknowingly or by mistake add API keys in any of the files or hard code it in the files. So it's not possible to every time sit and check all the files which is being edited and saved, or any file that is added newly, or any feature. So if I put it to agent hooks, it scans the document whichever you have saved. Every time you save a file or any code, it scans the document. So based on whatever you want, if I create an agent hook that I want a security scan to trigger every time a file is saved, agent hook runs it without any without me telling it that can you please check if there are any vulnerabilities in my code. So agent hooks, it does everything by itself. And agent steering is when you want to have an overview of the project. It's like a rule book where all the rules are put together if you want the documentation later. And then there's MCP servers which you can use. We'll talk about all these later. Maybe I'll give the prompt again. It's gone to spec driven. So it's asking me, if you're working on a task that's optimized for spec sessions, do you like to start a dedicated spec session for the best experience? Since it's just a small feature, I do not want to go through the spec process again. So I'll just tell no. I just want the code to be added to my project. And this is the faster version, where it's like less time consuming, when you want like to add a small features to your application. It has created a button. It has routed it. Okay, so it says that it successfully added the edit functionality to the page. Let's go and check whether it's done. Oh yeah, well, there's a edit button. Let's see if I can edit. Oh yeah, Madhumita. Okay, so I'll just make a small change in the achievement, and I will just tell that she's successfully hosted events. Okay, and then I'll save the changes. Let's see if. Oh yeah, see, the changes I've made on the profile is here on the gallery as well. So Kira has done a pretty good thing in just like 1 or 2 minutes. That is how vibe coding works. Then we can now look into agent hooks. So it's for repetitive tasks, as I told. If you want to create an agent hook, you can just click the plus button here, and then add manually create a hook. I wanted the title. I will name it as a security scan. Then description. Okay, so my description is automatically review changed files for potential security issues, like including API keys, tokens, credentials, or sensitive data. Sometimes there might also be access keys which you would have forgotten to remove from the files before deploying. And then comments with detected risk or remediation. This is what I want, and manually trigger when file is saved. every time a file is saved in my project, I wanted to scan the document. So yeah, I will create the hook. So it's asking for a part. For now, I'll just use the app dot py. So it says that hook is created and it is also enabled. I should be able to use it. So let's see if it works. I'll go to my app.py and just a second. Maybe I'll somewhere here add API key. Okay, and I'll save it. Okay, I've saved the file and let's see if Kiro will recognize that there's an API key hard-coded. So yeah, as you can see, it's telling that I've detected a critical security issue in your app.py. Exposed security key is line number 289. It's saying, and it's like API key which is hard coded. And it's also recommending me fixes like remove the hard coded key immediately from your app.py and use it in your .env file, which is a good thing, right? If I have to do it manually, half of my times is consumed in security scanning or any other repetitive task I would have to do. So this is a pretty good feature of Kiro, and then we can move to generate steering docs. So this is more like a rule book for Kiro. Every time you interact with Kiro, you don't have to, explain all the details. It makes the steering docs once, and it uses the same context every time you are interacting with Kiro. So it's analyzing the repository. So first, it's made the product file, which has the overview of my project. It says these are the core features, this is the user flow, this is the technical purpose, and there's a structure file which is created. Okay, so it tells me that these are the root files. This is how your project structure looks like, how the front end is, how it's connected to the back end. This has more of all the technical stuff. And here is the tech stack, what and all I've used. Like I've used Flask 3.0, then Flask, SQL Alchemy, SQLite, S3, Netlify for deploying. And then there's PyTest for testing, for deployment. And there's pretty much everything which you can use the context when you're further interacting with Kiro, so you don't have to specify anything later. And coming to MCP servers, there are plenty of MCP servers which you can use. MCP means Model Context Protocol, which helps you bring other additional features into your Kiro IDE. If you want to have a look on uh, MCP servers, there are plenty of MCP servers here. Okay, there's Aurora, then there's Bedrock. There are plenty of them. You can use whichever MCP server you want, and it's just like a click away. I go to the MCP server. I feel that it would be helpful for me. I click add to Kiro, and then it tells me if you want to add it, and it's successfully adding it on my IDE. Okay, there's some security issue, I guess. Let's check if I will be able to add it again. Oh, okay. I'll resolve this later. And two MCP servers I will use most often is AWS Docs, which gives you real time documentation of your project. Like when you want to deploy it on any application, or you want to push the code to GitHub, you want a README file which has all the details, right? So you can use Docs MCP server to get your README file. So I'll tell Kiro, using the AWS diagram MCP server, create an architecture. Okay, so sorry, this is for the diagram. So I will tell, using the AWS documentation MCP, I want a complete README for this project. It should include project features, tech stack, project structure, setup steps, and then required environment variables, and everything I need on my README files. I will tell Kiro. So it will use the docs MCP and give me whatever I need. Let's see if it's doing its work. As you can see, it's calling the MCP tool, search documentation. It's also calling another MCP tool, read sections. So yeah, after reading the my project structure MCP tool, it's giving me my README. Let's see how it will do. Yeah, this is the overview of the project. This is all the features it has. This is the tech stack. This is the project structure and prerequisites if anyone want to use it as an open source project. This is everything, requirements. This is how to configure your S3 bucket. So as I asked, Kiro has given me everything I've asked, like the project, what is the project about is here, and then all the features it has, all the tech stack, and then setup steps, requirement environment variables, how how to upload pictures into S3, and everything I've asked, Kiro has given me in my readme.md file. I didn't have to do anything manually. Okay, so let's see another MCP also, which is the AWS diagram. Previously, if you have to, create any diagram for your project, may it be architectural diagram also, you had to make the whole workflow first, take icons of all the text you've used, then connect everything accordingly. So now if I use Kiro's diagram, it will give me my whole diagram with all the icons without me having to do anything. So let's just give a prompt that, hey, I want my architecture diagram for my web application using AWS MCP server. The diagram should show a cloud hosted solution with the front end of Flask backend application. S3 used for storing uploaded images. Use Python code with the AWS diagram, and I've given all the details of what I want. And let's see if it will be able to give me my architecture diagram. I've also told that I needed an SVG format in the workspace. It has called an MCP tool, which is list icons, generate diagrams. Then it also is calling get diagram examples, generate diagram. MCP is called again. So let's see. So I guess it ran into some issue and it's fixing it for now. So yeah, it's done. So let's see if the diagram is good. Generated diagrams. Here is the diagram. Let me just check. Okay, I guess it ran into some issue. Okay, so we'll skip this for now. I guess there's some issue and I'm not able to figure out. Let me take a new session and try. So we're already running late on time. So I'll leave this here, and you guys can experiment all the other MCP servers if that is okay. Yeah, this was about agent hooks, MCP servers. I can send this PPT if you guys need. You can connect with me on any of these platforms. And the feedback form as well.
Hey Shreya, that was incredible, amazing session. Great learning with
Thank
you,
you.
of course. And can we add Aspan to the stage as well so that
Yeah, Aspan is there, I
yeah.
guess.
Okay, all right, all right. So it was really incredible seeing you guys. And Shreya, it was really great seeing a live demo on the stage. I've learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure it was very useful to all the beginners starting their journey with the Kiro. And thank you, Aspan and Shreya. Um, what I really loved about this session is seeing the journey, right? From Aspan's first step with Hero to you, Shreya, showing us the full power of its features and all. Amazing, amazing session, guys. It's Saturday morning and we are having a lovely day till now, filled with learning and building. So, thank you for being present here.
Thank you.
It's really great having you here with us. So, thank you. Anything you want to say
Thank
before
you for
ending
the
this?
opportunity to share my insights with the AWS community. I'm really grateful for this experience and I'm looking forward to keep contributing to more such engaging events and keep learning, keep growing with the AWS community.
Yes, of course. Shreya, you want to say anything before ending the session?
That's what I was very thankful for the opportunity a user group Madurai had given us as captains.
All right, then amazing session and thank you for joining with us today in this Saturday morning. So
Thank you.
hope you have a great day ahead. Thank you guys.
Thank you, you too.
So we have come to the end of the two sessions and we have seen a lot. We've learned a lot and we are, of course, going to build a lot. So for the people who want the resources and the PPTs, of course, we'll share it in some way. So now we'll move on to a quick quiz. Everyone can join in the Kahoot platform using the code shared in the screen. I can't see anyone here. Come on, guys. Let's test what you've learned till now. Yeah, we have Gokul and Yogesh here. Um, yeah, we are building up some participants. Let us wait for 2 more minutes for the participants to join and let's start. We have 7 participants on the stage. Any more to come? And guys, remember we are giving some sort of surprise for the winners, so make sure you join. It's gonna be fun. Just join. The QR as well as the code is displayed on the screen. If there are any technical issues, let us know in the comments. We still have participants joining. Okay, we'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start. And of course, make sure you apply all things that you have learned in the previous 2 sessions in the upcoming hands-on challenge too. Of course, we'll update you with the hands-on challenge on our socials. So stay connected and stay updated. Okay, then we'll start now. Let's move on to the first question. Seven answered. 9 going on to 10. So we have 5 correct people answering it correctly. So the answer is AIDC. Yeah. So Yogesh got the first place. Keep on going, Yogesh. Kudos to you, of course. All right, then let's see the leaderboard. Again, it's Yogesh, then Yoga, then Harnichi. That's great. Maximum number of people answered it correctly. And on to the leaderboard. It's again Yogesh. Well, kudos to you, Yogesh. I mean, yeah, great, great. Keep going. Again, we have Yogesh on the leaderboard, scoreboard. Yeah, right. We have the highest climbers. Yeah. Next question. Now yoga is climbing the top on the scoreboard. Great. Last question to go. All right, then we have the podium of top three members here. Third place goes to Yoga, second goes to Ajay, and the first spotlight goes to Yogesh. Yeah, of course. Kudos to all the three winners. And the top three winners can ping the user group Madurai organizers, that is Vivek, Pubalan, or Lokesh, to get to know what swags you're going to get. So make sure you tag us on your socials or contact us through the social user group Madurai. Yeah. Also, congratulations to the winners and all the participants. So I think moving forward, every builder's skill sprint ends with a challenge along with it. So let me share my screen. Um, is my screen? Yeah, okay, fine. So for this month's hands-on challenge, we have a theme because it's March and we just celebrated the Women's have a theme for this month's hands-on challenge. So for this challenge, we are focusing on the women in tech, and we have a special challenge. So for this month hands-on session, build something for the women in the community. So it doesn't have to be a dramatic idea or a deep dive idea. Just look through your community, see the women you work with, your colleagues, college members, or someone in your neighborhood. See what problem they face and try solving it through the AIDLC workflow that Bhuvaneswari ma'am taught us. So this is gonna be our hands-on challenge for this month. So I guess that's all for today's session. Happy learning. And to finally wrap it up, I'll also uh, this was introduced by Pubalan at the starting of the event. So I'll just again revisit this and tell you. So before we wrap up, like, this is a huge news for our community, for user group Madurai community. So you've seen what we can build in today's session, but um, this is our very own AWS user group Madurai that have achieved. So two for applications have officially made into the semi-finals of 10,000 AI ideas hackathon, and this is a massive milestone for us as a community. But to move forward and to bring the win to our home, we need your support as a community. So if you are interested in knowing more about what we have built, or if you want to know how we have implemented this, or you want to get an inspiration from this, you can scan the two QR codes that I've presented here. Scan it. If you love it, hit the like button, support the blog that we've written, and also tag us in the social media. So let's show the judges that we as a community can build something very strong, being very inclusive. So share this link with your friends and your circle. If you ever felt inspired by what we do here, it's the best way to give us back something, right? So yeah, so let's get these ideas to the finals. I'll wait for you guys to scan the QR for 2 minutes. Then let's wrap up with a good note. All right, then all done, I guess. Of course, you can take the inspiration from these two ideas and get the inspiration from it, and make sure you apply all the things that you've learned so far to the hands-on session, hands-on challenge that we'll be posting shortly. All right, then, great day learning. I'll stop sharing the screen. So yeah, so I guess we are at the end of today's session. This is a very great session. Saturday morning, you all came here and decided to learn, build something. So kudos to all the participants, everything. So, all right, then let's wrap up the session with a good note. Take care and have a good day. Thank you and bye bye.